What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Game Pass in Review. Today, long have we awaited, Danganronpa has finally graced the presence of Xbox. If you want to hear about that, then stay tuned, because my name's Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, and we are going to dive into Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. It shadow dropped Monday night onto Xbox Game Pass, but is it worth your time? That's what I'm going to let you know in this video. So let's get started. Danganronpa, for those unfamiliar, is a visual novel series kind of similar to the Phoenix Wright series in that it often includes a trial. So Trigger Happy Havoc has you take on the role of Makoto, and you are a student at a gifted school for all these ultimate students, is what they're called. So you have someone that's really good at baseball, you have someone that's like a really good writer, someone that makes comic books. It's just like the best students from around Japan thrown into this school, and they think they're there for a stellar education, for the best life possible. And it soon takes a turn into the wacky, weird, anime-esque that this genre is known for. If you like that, then I do think there's a very compelling story here. I want to get that right out of the way. I actually really like the story that the Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. I think there's a lot of anime that have a similar things. Future Diary is one, I believe, where people are killing each other, and that's kind of, spoiler alert, how things take a turn. So right off the bat, you spend your time trying to figure out, the school's a little weird, what's going on. You pass out, you wake up in a room, it's a bunch of people you don't know, you do your introductions. This is a visual novel, so there's a lot of text, a lot of reading. I like to think of it as watching an anime as opposed to playing a game, and that kind of helps me get through it. So if you're not into that, I wouldn't play this game. Maybe look it up online, maybe do a little synopsis video, because I do think the story is really good if you like this type of stuff, but it isn't the most compelling gameplay. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of it is dialogue, just clicking and examining things. But you meet a bunch of students, Kyoko, Hifumi, tons and tons. There's 15 students total. But then you meet the evil mastermind behind it all, Monokuma, who is like this half bear creature. One side's dark, one side's light. You've probably seen him online. Bit of a meme. And he tells you that the only way out of this school is to kill another classmate. And this, obviously, everyone's shocked, like, what's going on here? This is crazy. But as the video game needs to progress, eventually there is a murder, and then you have to take on the role of being a detective, examining crime scenes, talking to the other students, figuring out who killed this person. Because if you can figure out who killed the person, then they die and they don't get to leave the school. But if you don't figure out who killed the person, then every other student dies. So it's a bit of a twisted, sick kind of storyline. But if you like that kind of stuff, it is very good. When you get into the actual gameplay, apart from just clicking objects and examining stuff, the trial is actually pretty fun. It takes place in parts. So you have to hear, it's called a nonstop debate. Basically, it's just people throwing out words and accusations, but occasionally certain parts of the text will be different colored. This indicates that it is, a weak spot. Maybe they're lying. Maybe you have a contradiction. And you have this gun that you can load truth bullets into. So when you see those and you know what they're saying isn't true, you can aim and fire at it, and your character will jump in, kind of Phoenix Wright style, with the objection. And then you will tell them what's why what they're saying isn't true. And then everyone will be like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They'll take your side. And this is how you progress through the trial, because if you can't convince everyone, you're going to lose and you're going to fail. There's a time limit. And let me tell you, these trials take forever, minimum an hour. You're probably going to be doing this trial real time. Gameplay it gives you like a 15-minute timer or something, but hour minimum in real life. It's a little ridiculous how long these trials take to do, in my opinion. There are different other phases to the battle. For the finishing blow, you have to do sort of a rhythm game where you have to hit A and tap in rhythm. And then as the statements come near, if you've had enough combo meter, you can blast away the statements. It's interesting. I don't really understand like why they went this route. It's fun enough. I think it's a little silly, but I do like, the argument. And then for the actual closing argument, you have to make a comic book. So you get pictures of things that have happened throughout the game, throughout the murder case in this instance. And then you have to make the comic and read right to left. And if you don't choose the right ones, then it won't make any sense and you won't progress. So you have to make sure you've been paying attention to the story, paying attention to what happened, and then put it in the right order. Once you do that, all the students will vote the other student out because they're now convinced, hey, this person's the murderer. You've proven it. Great. And then you can move on to the next chapter. There's 7 chapters total in this game. I'm not going to give any spoilers. I'm just gonna be straight up. I did not finish Danganronpa. I got a few chapters in and then I pieced out because I got it. I understand the gameplay. I like a lot of these characters. I think there are really well developed characters. I think Kyoko is obviously the best character in this game. I like Celeste though. She's a great character. Chiori, the hacker or the programmer girl. I liked her too. Really good characters throughout. Maybe some waifus if you're into that type of thing. There are a few annoying characters like the 2D comic book artist. Do not like him at all. I think he is very annoying and obnoxious. But I think overall the characters are really good. They work well off of each other. The dialogue is good. It's not cringy. It's pretty. It's an anime. If you like anime, you will get some enjoyment out of this game. It's just at 25-ish hours, the game is a bit long for me. And I think I'm kind of realizing that with visual novels, these games just tend to drag for me. I don't really think they're interesting enough for me to continue. Like, I need more gameplay. I need more actually doing something instead of just clicking A all the time. That gets a little repetitive and that really does diminish my enjoyment of the game. So if you're not into visual novels, definitely don't play this. That'll be a waste of your time. Maybe just look up a YouTube video of the story, the important cutscenes. I think that would be a good, if you want the dramatic parts, if you want the good story, the character interactions, because I think those are great. But for me, this is a game that I'm happy I finally tried a Danganronpa game. I've heard so many good things about this series. So many people are like, "This is amazing. It's better than Phoenix Wright." I do think it's better than Phoenix Wright. For what it's worth, I think this is a story that appeals much more to me. I do think it gets a little dark at sometimes, like the way people are killed in this game is a little messed up, and that's coming from someone that loves the Saw franchise. Or maybe it's because they're like teenagers, but really, really dark undertones here. So if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, maybe stay away from it. But overall, I think Danganronpa. I'm glad it's on Xbox. I'm glad it came to Game Pass so people can experience it. But I don't think this is a series I'll be hopping back into. I understand why people like it. I think there's a lot here to love, specifically with the stories and characters. I just wish this was presented in a different manner. The visual style isn't for me. The trial, while fun, is too much. It's too long and it's a little cumbersome and silly at points. I get it. They needed some sort of gameplay mechanic in there, but that's not for me. I don't think I'll be returning. But if that sounds fun to you and you like what you've seen on the screen, maybe check out Danganronpa. It's on Game Pass now. So, like I said, just like my last visual novel, if you like visual novels, check it out. I think you'll find something to love, especially if you're a fan of anime. But let me know what you guys think of Danganronpa down below. Let me know if there's any games you want me to cover on Game Pass and Review. I'm trying. If you want to make sure I get to them, or at least increase your chance, head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/projectxtalk. For $1 a month, you can support us and get a shout out on the podcast. But if you want a vote on what I play for Game Pass and Review every month, one game a month, that sounds fun to you, head on over. Cheap, like I said, $5 a month gets you early access to all our content, gets you a shout out, gets you voting rights on Game Pass and Review. So Again, my name's Kevin. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.